I was looking at the amount of people waiting, thinking, oh, it's 20 seconds to go. No. Oh, I say, let's make sure that everything is looking fine and dandy. And make sure there's, as Andy Turner says, what was it, lights, camera, technical issues? Oh, hello, everyone. Good to be back, as they say, as Holly Willoughby might say. She's made a comeback. She's a married woman. I'm surprised she didn't take it in her hair. Marcia Toms, wishing you and the new Mrs. Allen a very happy 2024. Marcia, you're very kind, first in there tonight. Thank you very much for that, and it's reciprocated always. All the very best for the new year and 2024, Marcia. To Andy Sinsky, happy new year, Adrian. I will be working tonight. Have a great show, and I will watch on catch up. Yes, Lagger. Andy, but good to know that you were there, and that's the sign of a gentleman. Just leaving a quick note saying, I'd love to be there, Adrian, but needs must get the odd shekel or three so I can put some food on the table for the dogs. Tower Block Tracy, I understand you've been upset, well, not upsetting people, but I think they've retreated a respectable distance because Tower Block Tracy might have been on some French Red tonight. Tower Block Tracy, happy new year to you all, you rascals, you wrong'uns. I'm in France, en français, mais oui. For vacation. It's holiday. Tower Block Tracy, we're English. We don't do vacation. That's the Americans. Savouring the delightful French, oh, I say, one at a time, Tower Block Tracy. And their affordable wine. Served by those here we go. Served by those dishy French waiters. Oh. See you all at 8 p.m. sharp. Woohoo! Unless you're otherwise engaged, Tower Block Tracy, we would never stand between a woman and her delights, surely. So, Mr. John Up, Adrian, a very happy new year to you and your wife and your family. Hope 2024 brings you good health, peace and prosperity, and a happy new year to all tuning in this evening. Thank you, Mr. John Up. You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. And happy new year, Tower Block Tracy. Hope you're enjoying yourself and behaving. No, I don't think she is somehow, Mr. John Up. GB Patriot. There's always one. There's always one in the family. There's always one in the group, surely. It is New Year's Eve, after all. I will say that Mrs. Allen and I, the new Mrs. Allen, because there's never been a Mrs. Allen before, we had a delightful lunch today. And we were sort of, and I'm sure this is for everyone. I'll get back to the comments in a second. But we were sort of reflecting and going, 2023, I mean, what a year that was. And we were talking about, the wedding and the honeymoon and the stuff and the YouTube and the stuff that's been happening. And we'll do this a little later. If you fancy doing the highs and lows or the heroes or zeros of 2023, I'd love to hear them in the comments. And I'll read some of them because we'll get a sort of Q&A. I won't keep you too long this evening. The new Mrs. Allen will chop me head off if I'm too late because we're going to have a slight libation. The odd libation this evening. I don't drink because I'm always driving. I chauffeur drive the new Mrs. Allen around. So I can't really have the odd snifter or 10. So we're going to have a little large one. GB Patriot. Mr. John Up, Tower Block Tracy behaving, not a chance with all the fishy Frenchy waiters about. Bet she's scoffing Battenberg as we speak. Oh yes, there's no doubting. Tower Block Tracy is a big fan of Battenberg. Carl Bassett, hello, yeah. Rogan, wishing Adrian and the family and all the people who listen to Adrian very happy new year. GB Patriot, lay off the Battenberg, Tower Block Tracy. Too late. It's already kicked off, GB Patriot. PT Ham, oh hello. Haven't seen you in ages. Hi Adrian, happy new year to you and your newly beloved and to all the wrong'uns. Mad Matt, UK 1, 2, 3. Good evening everyone. Happy New Year. Yeah, we're not far away. And we've got family in New Zealand and they're like giving it large. And all of a sudden, when somebody's had a snifter and they get a bit lively and they start wishing, I love you like a brother, I love you. Well, all that's already started because they're like 11 hours ahead of us. Australia, New Zealand, they're kind of out east. They're all going, yay, party. And we're like, that's not New Year yet. It is here. Mad UK. Towel Block Tracy, you enjoy yourself. Have a glass of red for me. I don't think it's just the wine. Mad Matt UK. I think it's all kicking off with Towel Block Tracy. Do you know, what we were playing? Have you ever played Cards Against Humanity? We had a game of that the other night, and I had to explain what Cac. What's that? What's Bew cake? Is it like Battenberg? I said, no, it's not like Battenberg at all. It's not even a cake, and it's got an E at the end. You pronounce the E, do you? Bew cakey. Close, but just don't ask. And then they continued, and I'll explain later, and I discreetly avoided explaining what could have been quite traumatizing. So I think Towel Block Tracy is definitely in control, and the French are loving it. Where are we? Andy Turner, that was it. Lights, camera, technical problems. The Church of Bungle is open now. Bungle's a little more ginger than me. I'm sort of Auburn, darling. Auburn. The Bovril. Nicholas girls should... Oh, okay, that's not how you spell it. The Bovril. Nicholas girls should not climb trees. They're wrong uns. Oh. Cliff Wilson, evening, Cliff. Yeah, wrong un. He says, a very happy and peaceful new year to all the wrong uns. It's good to have you in the church this evening. Andy Turner, DJing tonight, so we'll be dipping in and out. Andy, what do you mean? Is that what I think you mean? I was once a DJ, so I know what it means. No, I'm not telling you the news of the world, never got the story. Mr. John Up, Happy New Year, GB Patriot. I guess you're right. It was a bit daft of me asking Towel Block Tracy to behave. Nah, it's never going to happen. Andy Turner, whatever happened to Pink Roses? I think she wilted. Maria, Happy New Year, everyone. And GB Patriot, Towel Block Tracy, put them waiters down. All three of them, you're wrong. Mr. John Up, Happy New Year, Marie. Andy Turner, as we hit midnight, Cool and the Gang, it's spelled with a K, you're wrong. Call yourself a DJ. Cool and the Gang, celebration, then whoops, upside your head. And then everybody gets beer all over their derriere. Oh, look, you've wet yourself, look at your trousers. I've done that more, I've done Oops Upside Your Head by the Get Band more than a dozen times. Being a live DJ once in my resume. GB Patriot, come on, Adrian. Your crazy public's awaiting you. Battenberg free presents. No Battenberg for me today, sadly. But we have had a couple of G&Ts with dinner. Talking of women, Alexa, are you going to play ball with me tonight?
I don't know that one.
Right, you don't. Mad Matt UK. Good evening, Adrian. Happy New Year, Adrian, to you and the Mrs. Allen. Thank you, Mad Matt. Thank you very kindly for your very kind words. Karen Boo UK. Happy New Year, Karen. Happy New Year to you too. And Simon John Lavender. Oh, good to see you in the house, in the body of the church tonight, Simon. Evening, Adrian. Happy New Year to you and the new Mrs. Allen. I'll pass your kisses on later, Simon. Jilly B, she'll allow me once I finish this. Jilly B, Happy New Year. Jilly B, Happy New Year to you too. And to the Jacobite, oh, good to have you in the church. Happy New Year, you Romans. What's the moderator been doing? Oh, I say, the moderator's on it this evening. So you better be on your best behaviour. Where are we? What time? Blimey. We're racing through this. Karen Boo! Everyone, I'm joining in earlier tonight. You wrong-uns. The motorcycle restorer. Yo, Adrian! Peter, Happy New Year, all. Happy New Year, Peter, and the motorcycle restorer, and Karen Boo. And Happy New Year for later. Mad Matt UK, New Year's just past Dubai. Is it? It's like Father Christmas. You can see him. You can track Santa. Have you never tracked Santa over Christmas? It's wonderful, so magical. And there's me, an adult. Mr. Jonup, myself and Mrs. Jonup are off out later to trip the light fantastic. My turn to drive. Shucks. Oh, Mr. Jonup. Thankfully, we are walking to the establishment where I shall fall down. Seemingly there's a bit of a dance floor. They've moved the pool table, which is a bit of a shame because I do fancy myself as a bit of a pool shark. But I'm either going to fall down in the pub or I'm going to fall down when I get back. Mainly because the new Mrs. Allen will trip me up again. Marcia Toms, please keep your pet indoors because of any fireworks. Yeah, I agree. I'm backing Marcia Toms with that. Because I know we have a lot of fun, but the dogs and the animals don't like don't like the banging. Fireworks before you make your own gags up. Tower Block Tracy, I came to France to see the Eiffel Tower. Magnificent erection. Tower Block Tracy, Eiffel Tower, magnificent erection. Disappointed to find out a load of scrap metal with lights on. Oh, I say, cynical Tower Block Tracy. Bovril, I trust you had your bloomers on, Tracy, when you climbed that tower. Tower Block Tracy. And Andy Turner just finished setting up what have I missed? Nothing, Andy Turner. Just loads of mentions for you. You're wrong, and you'll have to watch it on repeat. Repeat. That's what Sprouts do for you. To O'Rourke Eda. Apparently, we have to wait until 12:05 to ring in the new year. While VAR confirms what year it is. Brilliant. I love that. Love that. Andrew James, Happy New Year. Double A's, a.k.a. Boy Erectus. You see? It's all going up. I mean, I'm not sure whether I can be serious with you tonight. So, on the live this evening, it's live, I tell you, live. We're going to talk about Holly Willoughby coming back. Not quite sure where she's been, but she's coming back. We'll talk about that because we on this channel have been all across that. We knew exactly what they were going to do. We could just see through the BS. Going to talk about XL bullies. Have you seen one today? I have. Shouldn't have done, and they should have had a muzzle on. So we'll talk about that as well. Dominic Cumming. I mean, it's an unfortunate name, Dominic. It's the return of the spitting image vampire puppet. Or is it? Special announcement coming. No, I'm not pregnant before you start. Can Ponce Andrew get a break? What a year 2024 is going to be for that poor boy. He shouldn't have been doing what he was doing. What can I say? Simon John Lavender, Blackpool Tower, orange netting. Oh, it's on fire. It's on fire. I keep seeing these delivery people. They're on fire. They're all on fire. Don't know what Uber Eats and Deliveroo were going to do. People will get calls left, right and centre. I think the takeaway's on fire. What else? Andy Turner. Really? Do we have to? Do what? Get on with the show. Andy, you tart. What are you talking about, man? I'm just being nice to people who were, wishing me Happy New Year and stuff, like your good self. I'm waiting till we get to 100 viewers, which is more like it. Lionel Leighton, unrehearsed live. You never seem to see my comments. Is this... Hello, world. Is this working? Is it working? Hello, I'm here. Everybody, Lionel Leighton, unrehearsal live. He's in the church tonight. He's in the body of the kirk. Madman UK, housework first, Adrian. Are you live on Wednesday, 8 p.m? Damn right. Do you know, you're reading my script, Madman UK. I was going to do that, the usual housekeeping, but you beat me to it. Yes, there will be. The next live, 3rd of January. Is it the 3rd of January on Wednesday? God, I've had one G&T tonight. I feel hyperactive. I must have that ADHD, just the hyperactive bit, not the A and not the D, ADHD. Yeah, I haven't got the hyperactive. I've got the hyperactive. I haven't got anything else. Lionel Leighton, unrehearsed live. Your comments are showing. Moderators tell me that your comments are showing. I've just recognised you for what you are, and I've welcomed you to the body of the church, young sir. Andrew James, double A, spreading himself a lot in his youth. You may say that, but I can't possibly comment. Andy Turner, know about Holly. What about Holly? You seen the pictures as well? Eugene McGeever, off the charts. That was me Usain Bolt. That was me miniature Usain Bolt in frame. So I've told you what we're going to talk about. And also, while you were distracted in 2023, this happened. We'll talk about that later. Because I've been looking at some of the laws that went through in 2023. And do you know, evil is evil is evil. And the evil is being evil. There's none of this tree-hugging hippie shite. So anyway, We'll do the special announcement in just a little while. Next live, Wednesday, 3rd of January, 2024. That's not to scare you. It's just to say to you, fan my brow, it's 2024. 2 minutes ago, it was 2023. Did we do this New Year? I don't think I did. Tower Block Tracy, Andy Turner. It's actually 359 days. Tower Block Tracy, how much vino have you? It's not El Vino, because that'll be Spanish. It would be, hang on. I can't speak French, as you can tell. So I'm not even going to try and be clever. Firstly, I want to say thank you to everyone. Everybody that's in the body of the church this evening. Everybody that's popping in and out. Lucky bleeders. Everybody that's popping in and out. And have just been very gallant and, you know, have been very lovely and saying, all the best, Adrian, all the best. Yeah, 84 people watching this and 24 likes. I mean, how bad that? I'm not going to be pipe out here and you can't even smash the likes. Get the thummy thing sorted. I just want to say thank you because it's been quite an interesting road over the last 12 months or so. I didn't think it would get off the ground, to be fair. I didn't know what we were going to do, how we were going to do it. I knew I had a few stories to tell. Vin rouge, français, mais oui. I mean, my French is not bad. Oui, Michel Platini and La Tour Eiffel. It won't get me very far in the French restaurant, but that's the best I can do for French. I sound like something from Hello Hello. I mean, for goodness sake. Andy Turner, he's back. Andy's lively tonight. What's going on with you, Andy? Have you had a snifter or something? Or have you been on the cooking sherry early? Tell about Tracy, not with his getting ready for the show I'm doing. So, come on, cough, Andy. What show are you doing? Is it Three Men and His Dog in a local pub? You're all waiting for like 2 minutes to midnight. Come in, bell's gone. 10 past midnight. There's nobody there. There's nobody there. Mr. John Up, you're very kind. Sorry, I'm drinking straight out of Havre Council, Adrian. Mr. John Up, amazing. Congratulations on the 50th live to Adrian. Thank you. Well, it's kind of appropriate for New Year's Eve. I'm sure we'll get more in the body of the church eventually. But let's crack on. So thank you. And I know that the words are used loads and there's a lot of insincerity around in today's society. But I genuinely, I've had one G&T and I can't even bloody speak this evening. I want to say thank you to you. Why? Because I didn't think anything was going to come of this channel. I didn't think, and for me, look, getting 100 subscribers and getting like 10 views is amazing. I mean, some of the videos that I've done have had tens of thousands of views, which is brilliant. I've met and communicated with some wonderful people because they get that this is about integrity and honesty and truth. This is not about clicks and likes and grifting. I'm not interested at all. There are some things which people will go, oh, see, he's got merch now. Yes, yeah, he's got merch. Well, that's okay. What am I supposed to do? Live off fresh air? So I just want to make it entertaining for you. We have a little team that work on the channel. I have the Scarlet Pimpernel and young Jacob that just keep me on the straight and narrow. Stop me from getting arrested by the Rozzers. I mean, have you ever been picked up by the fuzz? It hurts. So I want to say thank you for your comments, and please comment as much as you want while I'm doing this tonight. I will attempt to pick up on some of them. I've got loads of them archived so that I can do a comments video and just say thank you or respond to stuff. And your indulgences. I mean, every time I do a live, it's just brilliant. When we did the merch live a couple of weeks ago, it was just some of your ideas were brilliant. They were wonderful. And we've taken them on board, and we are going to do stuff. They're in T-shirts and mugs, and the Wrong and mug is definitely going to come soon. So it's your indulgences and your ideas, and in the background, the emails. A lot of people contact me, and I don't bring some of the stuff to the channel, mainly to protect me and protect them. But a lot of what's being communicated to me, I absolutely understand and get. And if you go to the About tab, I'm not sure, I've been to some channels recently, and I can't find the About tab to find people's emails and stuff to communicate with them. So if you have my email address, then by all means, you can communicate as much as you want. Terry Walkfit, it's been such a mad Christmas. There's been lots of people that have emailed me. I've read the email, but I literally haven't had 2 minutes to be able to respond. And what I'm doing tomorrow is I'm sitting down with everything and it all starts again. The graft starts again. So thank you to everyone that's been part of this particular journey over the last 14, 15 months or so. Sam and John Lavender, Adrian, thank you for entertaining us twice a week. New Mrs. Allen didn't say that. Dame Anna's in the church. Dame Anna's in the church. Happy New Year to all. Happy New Year, Dame Anna. Good to see you in the body of the church tonight. Mad Matt UK. Andrew James must be. I wish it would drift northwards. Hang on. You lot having a laugh? Not allowed. Got to be serious. I'm being serious. Rusty Mouse. I'm back with a mince pie. Oh, do you know, I love a mince pie, but I like a special mince pie. Like, you know, sometimes you can get mince pies with fondant on the top and cherry. I like my mince pies with a little fur on the top. Honestly, there's nothing better than a hairy pie. Nothing. To Rich, sorry for being late, Adrian. Yeah, you slacker. Have a great New Year, pal. Thank you, Rich. I'll try it, certainly tonight. The O'Buffrel Battenberg contraceptive merch. That would sell well. That's a brilliant idea. Battenberg contraceptive merch. You know, I do know some people that actually use their personality as contraception. And it works. John Honeyford, you're just getting old, Adrian. 1 G&T is not too bad. I'm down to 1 drink myself. 1 litre of whiskey. Oh, John, God, when I was living, look, the Scots, when I lived in Edinburgh for 10 years or thereabouts, and every time I went out with my pals or with my work colleagues, trying to keep up with a Scotsman that just loves their whiskey. I was introduced to, what's the whiskey that tastes like Domestos? I'll think about it. If I don't think about it, it'll come to me. So one of my work colleagues said, I'm being told off by the moderator. Keep it clean, Adrian, otherwise I'll block you. How does that work? Andrew James. Mead? No. Bells? No. You see, it was on the tip of my tongue. It's always a good place. Stone in your shoe makes you lisp all day. Thank you, Simon John Lavender. Town Block Tracy. Grouse. No. It's and I can't do it on. I can't use me Google or anything, or my AI because it's on my phone. And you know what happens on my phone? Technical problems. The jock's like a single malt or 2 for sure, or 10. Moonshine, Glenfiddich, Limp, Grouse, Teachers. No, none of them. It's a single. She's going to do my head in. It's going to do my head in. Oh, it's a peaty. It's a peaty whiskey. Not Copperberg. Jay's Fluid. The above. I think you might have that right. Ask her, Alexa, name me a peaty whiskey.
From wisegeek.com. Bourbon is a type of American whiskey predominantly made in the southern United States.
Alexa, name me a Scottish whiskey that...
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, some famous Scots are Billy Connolly, Sean Connery, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Andy Murray, J.K. Rowling, Alexander Graham Bell, William Wallace, and Robert the Bruce.
Are you going to stop? Thank you. You're going on a bit tonight. I might need you to shut up. Lefroy! Dame Anna! Whoa, what a woman! Lefroy, that's it. Oh, first time I tasted Lefroy, my world started to shake. I mean, it tastes like Domestos, but the Scots love it. I mean, my kind of working mentor, he said to me, "Oh, Adrian, do you like whiskey?" I said, "Yeah, I love it. Why?" He said, "Oh, do you like Lefroy?" What's that? sounds like a small animal. He said, oh, no. It's honestly Lafroig. So we literally stood at the bar getting absolutely slaughtered on Lafroig. Once the first one, because isn't it a truism that by the time your taste buds have had sort of the fourth drink, they can't distinguish between what you're drinking and some knock-off label. So that's what they do when, when you go to the hotels and they say, oh, it's all inclusive. They give you the first four that tastes like what you want. And then after that, they just give you any old rat poison because you can't taste it, really. And Lafroig, a Rorkeeda. Alexa has hit, though. No, I wasn't talking to you. I was just mentioning you.
Thanks for telling me.
What? No, I was just mentioning you. I didn't want you to intercede. Alexa, are you intercede?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, typical. Lionel Leighton, unrehearsed live. Glenn Finnick. No, Wikipedia 13, Lafroig, aka Nat's Piss. You're not far wrong, but I just, honestly, I've been in Porterhouse Blue in Dublin. I've been in the bar there where like a pint of beer is 14%. I literally was sitting there happy as a Larry, whoever Larry is. I'm sure he must have been in the bar before me, but just sitting there, woof, 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 woof. And I thought, oh, I'll go to the toilet. I got off the stool and my legs didn't work. In fact, my legs weren't there. I'm sure they dropped off at the hip because I was just, oi. And the people who were sitting next to me are like, whoa, have you had too much? No, I haven't had enough, evidently. So I remember the Porterhouse Blue in Dublin, which, fabulous drinking hole. Then I go to, this is why I can't drink, you see, because once I start, it's like Pringles. Here we go. Unconsciousness. And then the same when I went out with my work colleagues and drinking Lafroig. It's firebrand stuff, that. It's not to be messed with. It's to be treated with respect, let me tell you. And you know, I was going to talk about serious stuff tonight, and all you've done is just distracted me into whiskey. Dame Anna. Sorry, Dame Anna. I love a drop of Oban. What the blooming ex-Oban? That's Lafroig she's mentioned, man. Nathan Diamond just set mine off. So, nobody say anything. Let's see how many I can set off in one go. Alexa! It's all right, put in the comments. Did you... Shush.
Sorry,
no.
I don't know that.
I know you've already told me that. I'm just, I'm just being welcoming to everybody, Alexa, and yourself. But just stop kicking off, man. Bloody hell, I'm doing me live. GB Patriot, Tower Block Tracy. The number is 999. Hang on, what's she done? I've the way this kicked off. I can't stop laughing tonight. There's something seriously wrong with me. I've got to be serious, man. Annie, what? Taliskers. What's that? Yes, you woke mine up, Adrian. That's Mr. John up, Nathan Diamond. Mine's just said, sorry, I didn't understand that. Love it. I got the same from mine. I mean, I may as well be speaking Swahili. Mind you, the man, I'm tripping over my words tonight after a GMT. I may as well have been. Dame Anna, you're utter wrongin'. Mine is muted in anticipation. You just knew I was going to do it. Right, let's get to some serious stuff. Do you know, there's a royal abdicated today, literally like an hour before I came on air. A royal has abdicated, and she did it live on air. There's nothing better. I mean, DLT did it at Radio 1. I did it at Century 106. Some people go, oh, yeah, I was listening the day that you left. And you say to them, okay, so what did I say? Can't remember. I literally walked out live on air. Just, I've had enough. Pfft, up yours. So, obviously, the Denmark's Queen Margrethe II has just gone on air to the nation, New Year's Eve, and gone, oh, here, you can shove your crown where the sun don't shine. I've had enough. I'm off. I'm handing it over to my son. I've had enough. Or I'm sure she was much more polite than that, than I'm being. I'm just being facetious. But Denmark's Queen Margrethe II, up yours, I'm off. And the whole of Denmark's gone, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she's gone, I've had enough. I'm off. I've handed it over to my son. I can do that because I'm the Queen. Just like Cilla Black. Remember Cilla Black resigning live on air. on the live the dating show. I can't remember the blooming name of it. It was shite anyway. And she went, "Oh yeah, I'm resigning." So 2 out of 3. Charlie, sausage fingers. Do you want to? I mean, the amount of hassle that sausage fingers is getting, and I'm not being disrespectful to my king, because I'm a huge fan of the royals, especially Queen Elizabeth II. I think she was a great queen, and it just goes to show that. I mean, I think Prince William, the Prince of Wales, will be made of a similar cloth to Queen Elizabeth, and I do hope that he has a long, healthy, successful reign. But poor Charlie, man. He's been, the Prince of Wales since the 60s. I had a pennant on my wall. Was he crowned in Carnarvon Castle or something? So I've been a... John D. All I can say is, it's John D's comment. He says, hopefully King Charles III will follow suit. It's obviously the Irish accent, John D. Andrew James, what did the ladies call your... Andrew James says, Adrian, what did the ladies call your fingers? Well hung, Andrew. Towel Block Tracy doing a DLT or Master Bates. Did I tell you that Simon Bates fondled my sphericals while I was bending over a desk once? He obviously tried to keep that quiet, but am I ever going to do that? Not his real name, obviously. Dame Anna, especially when she stripped titles early. Did she? Whoa! Did Queen so she was setting it up. Really? Queen Margarita stripped them of the titles. Whoa! Don't you love the cut and thrust? It's like being in the court of a Henry VIII. Oh, off with heads. Bagger. Now. Do it. Now. Tower. Send them to the Tower with Tracy. No, it's the wrong Tower, Your Majesty. What do you mean? Well, she's from Tower Block, Tracy. Not the Tower, Tracy. Ends up being the same. All the French waiters ruined. Andrew James. Oh, we do like a fish finger. All 3. Do you know, it's one of my guilty pleasures. I can't have it anymore because of the type 2 diabetes. But, a fish finger sandwich. You're talking now, aren't you? So, staying with the royals for a couple of seconds, you've got Ponce Andrew. So, on Tuesday, it's all kicking off. Now, it might be the Queen Margarita of Denmark has done a Cilla Black. And King Charles has said, well, what do I do with my dear boy? What do I do with Harold? Well, it's Henry. I don't know why they call him Harold, because it's Henry. Henry gets Harry. Henry doesn't get Harold. It's Henry. They just make it up as they go along. A bit like doing a live stream on YouTube. So Ponce Andrew, according to claims from one of his accusers, he's the papers from one of the court cases. The judge, New York Judge Loretta Preska, has said that the papers naming Epstein and the visitors to the island and those involved, I'm still unsure. Why do they call the people that have gone to Epstein's island clients? What do they know that we don't? They can only be clients if they pay money. And what would they pay money for, the mucky old tarts? And I'm not being facetious. So the Epstein clients. Now, we know the Lolita Express, the airplane, had Bill Gates and Bill Clinton. We've seen the pictures of Bill Clinton getting the massages from the younger girls. The Vapist, FFS, I missed the start. There is a comedy opening there. I'm not going to take it because I was in the middle of being serious. But welcome to the body of the church. GB Patriot noticed Randy Andy was at the back of the queue going to the church Christmas Day. I bet it was. I'm surprised he didn't nip in there first. Oh, there's got to be jokes about Andrew and church and getting there early. Towel Block Tracy. What's the old euphemism? Yeah, I got off at the stop before. Towel Block Tracy. Denmark's Queen Margarita II, Europe's longest serving monarch. That's currently, not ever, because our Elizabeth beats her. The English beat the Danes by a long stretch. Will abdicate on January 14th after 52 years on the throne. Oh, I bet she's got spelks in her derriere. That is serious constipation. Tower Block Tracy, go back to the French waiters. They were over there. What, the Bovril? Have you got Prince Charles fingers or something? Booting, biting, eating Battenberg cake? Bet Yacht Girl making his brick in it. Oh, well, do you know, can we say this? Let me just have a think about this. Because what I'd heard is, sorry, thank you. I don't know how to switch alerts off while I'm live. I can go into airplane mode, but no, I'm back. Don't worry, I'm back. It was because somebody sent a WhatsApp. That's why I froze. Oh, the old Bovril, thank you. I bet they're all over there buying Battenberg cake. Ho-hum. Philippa Fraser, Meghan was a frequent visitor. I'd heard that. Hang on, who said Dame Anna? Financial clients. Oh, yeah, Dame Anna. They're not financial clients. They were all Mossad agents, seemingly. And it was like a massive... Hang on. Katie Webster. I'm going to mention some of your comments later, Katie, but thank you for that. It was a Mossad honey trap where they got all... Look, celebs are not very bright. Even politicians are not that bright. They all think they are because they're all former barristers and lawyers and they think they're really clever. Well, actually, they're not, because upstairs for thinking, downstairs for dancing. Not downstairs for thinking and upstairs for dancing. No. So all the celebs have been caught out. And I mean, there was a lot of really powerful politicians. Some of the Israelis, there's evil Bibi Netanyahu. I mean, can I just go off on this tangent? Because I just want to say this. I believe, observing what's going on in the Middle East, that Bibi Netanyahu is one of the most evil individuals this planet has ever seen. Why? Because of what he's done to the Israeli people, what he's doing to the Middle East. And now he's saying, oh, yeah, we've got to escalate it. We've got to escalate it. No, what's going on in Gaza? No, it's going to last for ages yet, at least another couple of years. Oh, that'll be because you want to stay in power. Is that right, Bibi? Because the Israeli people were demonstrating on the streets of Israel wanting him out of politics. And then all of a sudden, he manages to just go, let's have a Middle East conflict. And he gets to lead a war council. No, mate. And don't hand over to your son either. Because the Israelis have got you. They've seen right through you. And the world has seen through you now. The Houthis out of Yemen. Look, I could send a car full of my relatives over there and we'd sort that out in 2 minutes. Houthis, we don't even know who they are. They're making it up half the time. And they're attacking ships that are going through the Suez Canal into the Med. Oh, how weird, man. Isn't the world going to wake up yet? Can't you see what's going on? An evil man at the top staying and doing evil things against other human beings just to stay in power, whilst the evil OCG that is the Biden family are sitting there lashing out hundreds of billions of dollars to Israel and Bibi Netanyahu, because Bibi says, oh, go on, Joe, give us 110 billion. You know you want to. Of course he wants to, as long as you give him a bit of kickback. I mean, how big does the brown envelope have to be? Talking of brown, whatever has happened on this laptop. So Bibi, yeah, exactly, GB Patriot. Bibi Netanyahu started a war to avoid corruption charges. And do you know something? Right at the very beginning of the Charlie 19, Israel had the solution. And it was promulgated all over the place. And I still have it somewhere. And then it just disappeared. It just disappeared. Why would that happen? Somebody's making. Israel had the answer. We didn't or wouldn't have had to take what we were offered. Whoa, Terry Watford, good to see you in the house, young sir. Not blurred here, Tracy. It must be your wine. French Wi-Fi, French wine, near enough. John Honeyford, I totally agree with you, Adrian. Rokida, I agree wholeheartedly about Netanyahu. But how are we going to have him removed? We already know what the end game is, and we know that it is the canal that the Israelis want to build. They want the gas and they want the oil under the Gaza and in the East Mediterranean. We know that, but it's going to take them a good 10 years to be able to build the infrastructure to do that. It's going to take them about 15 to 20 years to build a canal. But the Houthis suddenly coming out and bombing ships and trying to board ships, like piracy. We've never heard of them until now. Oh, that'll be made up on a tabletop exercise then. So let's get back to the Yorks. We're going to, looks like it's on, when's the, so if Wednesday's the, hang on a second, 1, 2, 3, must be the 2nd, Tuesday the 2nd. We're going to get this client list released. Tower Block Tracy, very good point. Hence all the oil now going through the Red Sea, fuel prices going up then. I as I've said to you before, sometimes you have to go back through the lives to get some of the subtleties that I give to you, because sometimes you miss them you miss those. But I did say to you ages ago, what they do is they inflate the price to up to £2 a litre, and then from, where was it? During Charlie 19, it was down to 85p a litre. And then we come out of lockdown, we start getting on with our lives, and then all of a sudden, it starts to creep up again. And now most supermarkets are somewhere in the 130s, mid 130s to 140. Hydroxychloroquine was the alternative treatment for Charlie 19, the same treatment for malaria. Thank you, Bovril. And do you know who told the world about hydroxychloroquine? Donald the Trump. And everybody laughed at him. Well, no, the media laughed at him because they were like, oh, do we have to start chugging on Domestos now, Donald? And he was telling everybody about hydroxychloroquine, but they couldn't make money from hydroxychloroquine because it's such an old drug, medicine, that they can't patent it anymore and they can't make money from it. So they didn't want anybody taking hydroxychloroquine. But Donald, I mean, what they've done to persecute that man and the people around him. But he told us about hydroxychloroquine. Everybody laughed in the mainstream media. They're not laughing now. Tower Block Tracy, fuel here in France, 172 a litre. Red wine is as low as 128 a bottle. Fuel the car on red wine. Cheaper, TBT, cheaper. GB Patriot, Meghan knew Andy before Harry. That's what I was going to get to, GB Patriot. So seemingly, you know, when we had the reports in the mainstream about Meghan having a bit of a fallout with Harry and having to go to somebody's wedding to kind of, you know, settle things down. Seemingly some of Harry's friends knew Meghan before Harry. And Andy was on the yacht when Meghan may have been yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Terry Wookford. And people still don't understand the energy con. Wholesale energy, electricity, petrol, diesel and gas is bought months in advance due to shipping times, etc. as soon as there is any increase in cost. Now, I know there's a power station just before you get into Edinburgh. And I was talking to one of the lads there. This would be about 10 years ago. And we were talking about, you know, the market. We were having a few, you know, falling down waters. And they said, oh, yeah, we work on 2 years ahead. So we know what the energy prices are going to be 2 years ahead of things. So all we do is we're sort of bartering and doing deals to supply energy because it's a nuclear power station. We work on 2 years ahead of time. So whatever the price is today, they've known 2 years ago. Tornes, thank you, Terry Wookford. Block Tracy, sloppy second. Stop distracting me, you wrong'un. So Torness Power Station, one of the lads there was saying that they worked 2 years ahead of time and they worked on energy deals. So they will know what they're doing. But currently, when it was 85p a litre of fuel, and then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 years later, with all the stuff that's going on, it ends up being about last I saw 138, Costco 128, 8 to 10p difference. And you look and you think, hang on a second, it was up at £2 a litre. Oh, 138, 136, 130, it's not so bad. But that's the ruse. When it goes up from 85p, they want it to go sky high, so it's painful for you. So when it comes down to 136, you go, whew, thank goodness for that. And they're making 50% more profit, literally all profit, on the price of a litre of fuel at the pump. Don't get me started on electric vehicles, because that's a busted flush already. The insurance companies don't want to know. People are not buying them as much as they were. Everybody's worked out the con. The cost prohibitive. Electric vehicles, oh, let's save the planet. Right, let's save the planet. Let's get these evil at the top. Out, gone. Let's jettison them off. Let's have Elon Musk put them on board a rocket and go, off you go, mate. It's all evil, man. It's all follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Every single time. Somebody, somewhere is on the make. Toxicology. Happy New Year, young sir. Thought I'd pop in and say Happy New Year. Not got lots going on at the moment. We'll be back and watch and comment soon. Good to know that you're still around. Good to have you in the body of the church ever so briefly this evening. And thank you for your very kind words. Do appreciate it. Terry Wookfit. Electricity and natural gas is 18 to 24 months. Petrol and diesel is about 6 months lead. Yeah, so they know what they're doing. It's a rigged game. Like politics. Oh, it's democracy. You can have a choice of 2 parties. Nobody else. Just 2 parties. Whether it's America, red or blue. And in this country, and we kind of go, hang on a second, we don't want the American system. We definitely don't want the American medical system. Healthcare system, Obamacare. How's Big Mike doing? Barack. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm not explaining it here. I might get my brake pipes cut. The vapist, most of the pollution comes from the rich, not poor people with cars. I completely agree. Can you remember the time, the ruse, where they were saying, what's the cows? It's the cows farting in fields. And we all went, what? Cows? And then they went, carbofluorocarbons. CFCs. Put a hole in the ozone. And we're like, oh God, we're going to die. Are we going to die? We're going to die. No, we're not. When anybody, like the doom goblin, when she stands up and goes, oh, you've ruined my childhood. Right, let's just have a look at this. So your very wealthy parents who allow you to sail across the Atlantic to America from Europe, not many kids would get the chance to do that because not many of them have got your money. And then all of a sudden the doom goblin goes, oh, it's climate change. You notice how they've changed the wording of all of this? Because my response to that is, oi, you're talking about climate change? All I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 words, ozone layer. Obviously, ozone's hyphenated before anybody gets a bit pissy in the comments. It's ozone layer. It fixed itself. This spinning orb is an organism in itself. And we have the arrogance to think that we're destroying it and it can't fix itself. But that's what they say in the mainstream media. Oh, yeah, Carnage. Mayor Carnage rides around in 2 gas-guzzling Range Rovers while preaching about pollution. Yeah, Mayor Carnage. There's some boy. Do we, we at least have an American election this year, and we have a kind of general election. There's all the Japanese and Chinese laughing their caps off because they can't say L. They use an R for an L in their language. So it's not general election, it's general. We've got 2 general elections in America and the UK. Can we get rid of the mayors? There's Andy Burnham in Manchester. Everybody's like, he needs to be the next leader of the Labour Party, Andy Burnham. And I tend to believe that you just have to watch what's going on. Watch people, what they do. Because some people go, oh yeah, get Andy Burnham, not Keir Starmer. No. I've told you before, I told you 6 months ago, this will be a hung parliament. Because I believe, and this is just a feeling, and you know, if I was psychic, I would be winning the lottery every weekend. But I just believe that it will be a hung parliament because people don't want another year of these crooks that are in power. A little rich boy, they said that him and his missus were worth about 780 million, not billionaire status. I will guarantee you when that boy gets out of power, when he comes out of politics, because he won't stay, he just wanted the power, they'll be billionaires. So where did that money come from, Your Honour? So I believe what's going to happen is people will go to the ballot box and then it's down to their conscience. They'll look at the Tories and go, no, we need to get rid of them. We need to get rid of them. Or who do I vote for? It's a two-party system. GB Patriot reckons that the Tories have got big dirt on Starmer. Well, he let Jimmy Savile's file go across his desk, NFA. How does that work? Protected the powerful. So they'll look at, do we want Keir Starmer? Do we want the Europeans? And the Europeans are absolutely... words defy me. They defy me because I know that they're corrupt. I know that they're crooked. I know that there's a shitload of money gone missing. You think the Americans $3 trillion just before 9/11? Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah. Donald Rumsfeld stood up the day before 9/11 happened and he went, we've misplaced $3 trillion. And all the reporters are like, oh, that's $3 trillion of taxpayers' taxes went missing in the military. And then 9/11 happens the day after. And what happens on 9/11? The very place where they targeted in the Pentagon was the officers with all the paperwork for the $3 trillion. Oh, let's just sweep that under the carpet. Oh, it disappeared. And now they're spending hundreds of billions of American taxpayers' dollars and giving it to the Mighty Mouse, Zelensky, and they're giving it to the Middle East. Problems. Obviously get some kind of kickbacks. But, I mean, yeah, WTC7, Bob. Thank you, that. Bob Smith. WTC7. Nothing hit it. Nothing happened. And to use a technical term, WTC7 was pulled. It was demolished. And nobody asks the questions. And I agree with GB Patriot. So that they took some of the still images out of whatever it is that went into the Pentagon. And one of the frames, they've taken 2 or 3 frames out that we're not allowed to see because it's national security. 3 trillion reasons why it's national security. But you just see the end of the missile. And they must be laughing at us thinking, how thick are they? The great unwashed, how thick are they? No, roles reversed. We're a little sharper than they give us credit for. Wiki videos, WTC7 went down quicker than Monica Lewinsky. She's got the dress to prove it. Tower Block Tracy. Loose Change the movie. Brilliant. Yeah, seen it. I can't remember the guy that was behind it. I know that Alex Jones did kind of a similar version. Got to see him back on X, but he's now a cartoon character of himself. Mr. John Up, exactly what I think, Bob Smith. WTC7, as Adrian said, bold. Tower Block Tracy, watching Political Joe interview with Ian Hislop on Sunak, The Royals. Brilliant. Yeah, Political Joe's a good channel. Love it. Anyway, so there's the Royals. We've got a handle on everything. O'Rourke Media, WTC7, definitely pulled. Terry Wookfit, Loose Change. Was that... Avery. Yes, it was. Well remembered, Terry. Because at the time, I remember being on air for 9/11, and the bosses of the radio station that I worked for were like, Dylan Avery, thank you, TBT. The bosses there were like, Adrian, we're not sure we're going to let you go on air tonight. I was like, why? This is history. And they were like, well, we know what you'll do. What's that then? Well, leave it with us. So anyway, we go on air, and you know they were talking about terrorists taking over the planes. Well, pilots have a 3-digit code that they put straight into a piece of gubbins, technical term, a piece of gubbins that tells flight control that the plane's been hijacked. and I had a professional pilot, within hours of it happening, professional pilot come onto my radio show and tell me exactly what was what. And the way that the doors are made on an aeroplane, you have to turn sideways to get in. And the pilots can look at from the inside. You can't get in unless it's open. So the minute that there was anything going on any of those planes, the pilots would have locked the doors, put the 3-pin code into whatever communicates with tower control, and they would have known that that was hijacked, and they could have scrambled the Air Force. Remember, there was people on a real-time exercise in America going, is this real world or exercise? Quote, is this real world or exercise? They didn't know what was going on because there was an exercise around, a tabletop exercise around hijackers hijacking planes and flying them into different places. And I will tell you that I'm not sure you'll be able to get a copy of it, but I will tell you, as I told David Icke, because he's the main conspiracy man, in one of my interviews that I did with David Icke, I told him there's a book called Storming Heaven. Storming Heaven, that was the blueprint for 9/11. I've got it here somewhere, but it was the blueprint for 9/11. 9/11 happened exactly as Storming Heaven decreed. And it wasn't sort of a prophetic book of any kind, but it was a book where, and it was fiction. It's fiction. But it came out in 96, 97, around about that, mid to late 90s. So it was 5 or 6 years old before 9/11 happened. But Storming Heaven, blueprint for 9/11, everything, the money going missing, everything. And the planes going into the towers. Tower Block Tracy, a bit like Event 211 was prequel to Charlie 19. It's all, they're not that clever. They're not. But they're able to distract us, me and you, sufficient for us to not see it and kind of recoil in horror. Look at 9/11, how horrendous that was. I was in the gym, I was in David Lloyd's in South Wales, and we were watching it on TV, and I saw the first plane go in, and then the smoke coming out of the first tower, and I literally saw it come onto the screens, and I said to two of the personal trainers in David Lloyd's, I said, lads, you need to watch this. This is the biggest event in history in your lifetime. I'm off, I've got to get the radio station. So literally into the shower, got dressed, straight into the radio station within 10 or 15 minutes of that. And I was in the radio station just in time to see the second plane go in. And some of the bits that people have analysed for the second plane, I mean, some of it just defies description, defies it. But they think that we take it. The moon landing's faked. Oh, I mean, some of this stuff, I'm a real cynical old tart. I kind of believe what I believe with my own eyes. But when people go, oh, the moon landings were faked, and there's that, honestly, 1G and T, my brain don't work. The film director who released video after his death saying, I faked the moon landings. I faked it all. And you just think, what have we been witness to? The biggest frauds in mankind's history. This is not just, building something and then, I don't know. Stanley Kubrick, thank you, Adam. Stanley Kubrick coming out with Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, there's so much in that film. And he's like, oh yeah, I faked the moon landings. I did it for Hollywood. I mean, I don't know how we ever get to the truth. And I don't know if we ever get to the truth. And then when we're at the truth, whether we sort of say, we found it. We found the truth. Because then we've moved on. But what's the old saying? The cause that they were fighting for no longer exists. So we're trying to get to the truth, to the truth, to the truth. And it's 20 years since 9/11. They've moved on to other stuff now. Charlie 19 and other things. In 2024... That yeah, it was Stanley Kubrick. Yeah. Okay, Webster says as soon as the North Tower collapsed, I knew. Yeah, and then WTC7 out of nowhere just, and you think that's being pulled. I had a conversation with some engineers and with some very, very clever people, architects and engineers, and they were like, no, you've got it wrong, Adrian. No, you've got it wrong. And I was like, no, 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 no. How can WTC7 be pulled? And you tell me that it must have been the stuff from the two towers that came down that set WTC7 on fire, that meant it just came down. I mean, which banana boat do they think I got off? Nomad Preppers, Adrian, nice to see you. Nomad, you're wrong, and that's all you ever say. Have you got a stutter? Cooking sherry, you're wrong, and you can't walk past the kitchen until you get the cooking sherry. Nomad Preppers, if you're prepping for Armageddon, make sure you've got enough rice, about 75 kilograms of rice to last you a year. Obviously, it's not going to be very interesting on the dinner plate, but that will be enough to get you through, and you just need some water tablets and some other bits and pieces, mainly guns, because if what they're planning over the next 12 months, it's called a black swan event. And so it's New Year's Eve, and I questioned coming on air tonight, and I thought about what I was going to say to you and what I was going to deliver to you. And I thought, do we go entertaining because it's New Year's Eve? Nobody wants to hear the real weighty and heavy stuff. Do we go entertaining? Yeah, we can talk about 9/11. Yeah, we can talk about that because that's something we've all talked about for 20 years, and we're still trying to get to. It'll soon be Christmas. We'll get to. Thank you, Theo Bovril. We will get to the truth. It'll be our version of the truth, what we understand of the truth. But I didn't want to bring stuff that may scare some people. I don't think there's many people that watch this channel have a nervous disposition. I think everybody that watches this channel is a seeker of one kind or another, and is mainly seeking their version of the truth or the truth. And I have some very sorry, I'm having a thought, and I need to retain that so I can tell you. Oh, Mike's Alligators. Adrian, did you ever meet or interview a band from your neck of the woods, the Alligators? I'm very well aware of the Alligators, but I haven't had a chance. If you want me to, I'd love to interview them. I'd love to give anybody a bit of a hand up. Let me get back to what I was saying. So I didn't know whether to bring... There's a lot of stuff that I'm hearing and reading and being told. Nomad Preppers list. Adrian, can we have more Belfield revelations, please, for 2024? I'm about to make an announcement. So I thought about telling you about this. I'm hearing about a Black Swan event. A Black Swan event is major. Major, major, major. And they're trying to frighten us. And I believe the only way, and again, I'm a knuckle dragger from Sunderland. You know, I eat very hot curry. I drink loads of beer, or I used to in my youth. I drink beer, eat curry, and swear sometimes, and I get into a fight every now and again. I'm just a Luddite. But this Luddite has a great BS detector, and I can spot it a mile away. Mostly. Not always, I'm sure you can. Oh, Adrian, you didn't see that coming. Oh, you didn't see that coming. Yeah, well, you know, I'm not God. Wish I was. Bloody hell. I'd get Sunderland winning the Premiership. So, Kevin Rowland's aviation fuel can melt steel. Of course, Kevin. Aviation fuel can't burn at a sufficient temperature high enough to melt the steel in the two tower blocks. On 9/11. Tower block Tracy, 124 watching, only 51 thumbs up. Yeah, you wrong-uns. I mean, I know the body of the church is full of wrong-uns this evening. How are you, man? 125 watching. Smash the likes. You're wrong-un. Otherwise, I'll come round and knock on your door. Kate Webster, we need outlets like this no matter what the day, Adrian. They've pushed us to the farthest corners of the internet. I thank you for your voice. Kate, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. As I have said before, I've been in late night radio since 1989. So you can see I've done it for 34 years, done phone-ins, 34 years. And one of the things I learned is if they want rid of you, they'll get rid of you. So I have to I have to be very careful, which is why sometimes I'll use different words or I'll use some kind of code. And the reason why I leave all of the lives up here is because it's a body of work. You will be able to go to it in a year, 5 or 10 and go, oh, that's what he was talking about. Wow, he mentioned that. So I'm just laying this here. Black Swan event 2024. It'll change the planet. I can't give you any more detail on that because then they'll know what the source is. GB Patriot, I'd love a phone in with you and James Stanage. Whoa, scrunch my bundies. Yeah, I think James is still kicking and flinging in Manchester. Wasn't he a teacher? But somebody said to me, why don't you get all of your contacts, open your contact book and get everybody on? It's only 24 hours in a day, but that's a great idea. Wonderful idea. And James, if you're watching this, you're Robin. Love you. Time to get me and you talking. He'd wipe the floor with me. I mean, he's just supreme. I call him the king because that's what he is, James Stanage. He's the king. There's other great princes in late night phoning, but Stanage was the first-ish. I know that James Whale is not very well at the moment. I've seen some, and congratulations to James Whale for his MBE. Wonderful, 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 as well as Tony Blackburn for their honours. That, you know, these men are supremely talented, and I doff my cap to them. Tony Blackburn, well, he's just Tony Blackburn. Nothing more to say. He's a national treasure. And James Whale, he did it all before. And I think Stanage, because he must have been doing phone-ins for nearly 50 years, easily. I've been doing it 34, 35-ish. And Stanage was 15, 20 years ahead of me. But what a wonderful, 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 talented man. And if you're watching, you old tart, about time me and you caught up again. And if anybody knows Stanage or where he is or what he's doing, I don't know, I think he's friends on Facebook, but he's not really a social media kind of guy. If anybody knows Stanage, just drop him a line and just say, oh, the daft lad. No, I'm not going to tell any of his secrets, but just say the daft lad. He's been talking about you. He wants to talk to you. I'll try and find him. I'll try and get him on. I can't remember who said that. Terry Wookford, Alien Invasion. View Bovril, when on LBC, did you do a phone-in regarding TV licenses and owning a TV? Possibly the old Bovril. Yeah, my mate Dean would know because he's got the memory of an elephant, and he was my webmaster, so he would know. I'll find out from him over the next couple of days. Mike Alligators, you can't, as they don't exist anymore. I've followed them, Adrian, since I was 13 years old. If you look at my picture, is of them at Sunderland Comrades Club. Whoa! That's a few years ago, Mike. Thank you very much for that. Did I meet them? In mists of time, possibly. I mean, in the Northeast, I met everybody. Just so many people. I used to go to Tyne Television. Remember the Tube TV show? We were always offered the big names at the Tube to go and do an interview with. Best band I ever saw at the Tube? Shatter Khan. God, they were as tight as. I saw them do the sound check earlier and I was like, holy, these are insane. Insane. I mean, I saw, all the big American rap bands and stuff. Nomad Preppers. Adrian, I lived in... Oh, Nomad Preppers. I took the new Mrs. Allen to see Hilton Castle because they've done it out, haven't they? It was a ruins, but they've done it out. And I said, oh, we'll go in there. Didn't have time, obviously, over Christmas because we were trying to do all the family thing. I lived in Hilton Castle for a few months with a Sunderland girl before returning to Luton in Bedfordshire. Lovely place, and Northeast people are so nice. Oh, too kind. Nomad Preppers. But Hilton Castle, you pays your money. You can go in now and have a wander around, have a donder around. Oh, the card lad, Terry Wookford. Yeah, the card lad of Hilton Castle. I'm card. Seemingly, there's a ghost in Hilton Castle. And it used to walk around the top of the castle, the ramparts, going, I'm card, I'm card. Now, card is cold. It's a northeastern word. I think it's Sunderland-ish, Mackham. I don't think, did I say card in Newcastle? Don't say it on Teesside. But he used to walk around the card lad, cold boy of Hilton Castle. Annie Watt, don't undersell yourself. You are brilliant. Happy New Year, Adrian. I really respect the knowledge and thoroughly enjoy your channel. All the best. Annie, what? Thank you very much. Your words are very, very kind. Katie Webster. I only found LBC from first lockdown and loved Nick Abbott for a while. But Steve Allen, oh my days. Dish the dirt, Adrian. I will tell you this. Nick's a nice guy. Very shy. Lovely guy. Steve Allen, I have the utmost respect for him. He's just... He has, obviously, the acerbic wit that he uses on air, but he's very gentle. He's a gentleman. And again, I know what's happened to him at LBC. I'm not going to go into the detail there because that's between Steve and LBC, but I can kind of figure what's happened. And he's just out of my time. So I used to do the show before Steve. Steve would do early breakfast. I'd do overnights. And the audience for LBC was huge. It was massive. It was like, I don't know, the Man City, they'd be the speech radio equivalent of Manchester City in the Premiership. And the team was incredible. So, you know, Nick Ferrari is still there, James O'Brien that's still there, Ian Lee was there my time, and Steve was there, and we meet virtually every morning. He'd come in and go, "Oh, Adrian, that was marvellous, marvellous." And I was like, "What have I done now?" He's like, "Oh, bloody hell, you entertained me all the way in." I was like, "Oh, you're very kind." And Katie Webster, yeah, tongue as sharp as a knife, but hilarious. So all I can say is Steve Allen was wonderful, lovely to me, really gentle, and you know, some people are scared of him because he has that sharpness to his tongue. Had a spiker club because of the people tuning in. I can't regale you with any stories because that would be ungallant. But Steve Allen is up there with one of the best broadcasters I've ever had the pleasure to meet and work with and listen to. Just marvellous. Marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. Philippa Fraser, I used to listen to Steve Allen through the night, but was very funny. Shame to see him go. I'm not sure, because of the way radio works, I'm not sure that Steve will be back to LBC, but it would be a travesty if he wasn't on a radio station in 2024 at some point. You've got all these other TV come radio stations. It would be a travesty if Steve walked away completely. How much of talk-based speech programming is not the presenter's real-world views? Nowadays, no, look, I had a producer through the glass. And the way I like to work is that the caller calls in and the call is put on air. And it's my decision as the presenter and producer of my own shows what I make of that. So the presenter has to be adept enough to be able to create something, touch, move and inspire the listener by what that caller is talking about or what I would do with the caller. I would just see it as programming material, but sometimes people need help. Sometimes people need to be heard. And every time I went on air as a phone-in presenter, I wanted to touch, move and inspire people that listened to my shows in whatever way. If it was somebody that was lonely, that just wanted a bit of a giggle, or somebody that wanted to talk about real deep political stuff, deep state stuff, stuff that was going on, then we could talk about that. And that's why I want to bring the phone in back. I will be very genuine and honest and say, other than some of the radio stations in London, I don't know anybody that's even Alan Robson's gone. All the great proponents of phone-ins, like James Whale, as I said earlier, they're not really doing it. BBC don't know how to do a phone-in. They don't even have delay. So I want to bring that back in 2024. Because I'm not suggesting that I'm any good, and I'm not suggesting that I'm better than anybody else. I just know Caesar the Geezer. He was a boy. I just say that we're going to need it. I'm not going to go into detail. We're going to need it. We're going to need to be able to communicate, you and I, with the stuff that's going on. So I will bring the phone in back. And we are looking at how we can technically do that and give you a phone in that is of good enough quality for you to enjoy. Initially, it's going to start with an hour, but we're going to need it. And what the people, the puppet masters, are doing, they're trying to stop you getting any free choice and voice. They're trying to stop it. So in most of the radio stations now that are doing phone-ins, you'll either have a phone up through the glass that will answer the phones, and then you'll have a producer that decides on which callers are being put through to the presenter. That's not the way that I work. Everybody gets through, don't care what it is, don't care what the subject is, and my phone-ins are any subject, anytime, every time. So I will do it. If people take liberties, I'm not the man to take liberties with. What's the old saying? I'm too old a cat to be fucked by a kitten. Rich, thumbs up, guys and gals. Dan Payne, internet goes down. Love in an elevator. That was a great song. Honestly, you got to stop me talking. I'm running over. Dan Payne, do you have a CB radio? Oh, Dan, I was around first time when CB radio was a thing. when everybody was like, breaker, breaker, and all that kind of malarkey. Oh, yeah, I was 10-10 till we do it again. I just couldn't. Look, I was on the radio. Why would I need CB radio when I got professional radio with tens of thousands, if not millions of people listening to me? Katie Webster, that's why I stopped listening, Andrew. James, LBC won't go against mainstream narrative. They've gone very left-ish, LBC. No bad thing, considering what we're going to get as the next government. But I like to think that radio stations will hold people to account and will allow the intelligent ones who are not just hectoring idiots. They're going to allow people to have their say, because that is going to be the most important thing. When, like with Charlie 19, when we were frightened at the beginning, we didn't know what was going on. If only we had some kind of forum where we could say, and be honest about it, have an adult conversation going, look, I'm not really sure what this is. Does anybody know? And the collective would get together and the collective would work it out together. Not have some blonde bombshell, Bojo the clown, go, oh, I think you're going to stay indoors for at least 6 years. I mean, he told us it was going to be for what, 6 weeks? Oh, not going to be long. No, 6 weeks turned into 2 years. So, as Dan Payne said, yeah, the solar flare is going to knock everything out. It's going to have to learn smoke signals. But yeah, what did Terry Woodford say? Too many hoop kisses in the mainstream media these days. Tell it like it is, Terry. And you're right. Of course you're right. And the reason why they would, I mean, I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm not, God, I mean, I must have been a nightmare to have on radio stations. The listenership was massive, but how could you control me? Weak managers who got into management because there was shite on the radio, they literally were awful. The people that went into radio station management couldn't cut it on air. And I must have been a nightmare to manage. But I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm calmer. I'd love to get back in the game. But who knows what will happen in 2024. I'm a completely different shark nowadays, and I eat more often, so to speak. Lionel Layton, unrehearsed live. The UK are sleepwalking. I agree. Even GB News starting to change. Oh, knock, knock. Who's there? Dan. Dan who? Oof, the ruse worked then. Where's Dan Wootton gone? Told you a couple of weeks ago. He's been in London, was overheard getting some advice about, oh, don't say that, Dan. You don't want to say that. Start uncovering stuff. But the GB News, the radio station, they didn't really tell you what went on. They just went all quiet. Dan, off you go. That's a few bombs. Off you go. And he's just taking the money. He's obviously got a bit. But also, I've got an exclusive that I have to be... I'm not going to do it on a live. But I've worked it out. I've worked something out. I'm not going to tell you what it is, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. But I've worked something out. And it's hidden in plain sight. and I'm going to present you with the evidence. You make your own mind up. So I'm just going to round things off because, blimey, I need to get to the pub. I was going to do a Holly. I'll have to do that in the morning. I was going to do Celeb Big Brother. I'll have to do that in the morning. I was going to do politics, Dominic Cummings, XL Bullies, that little batty boy. John Wedger, your thoughts, Dame Anna. I don't know who John Wedger is, Dame Anna. You'll have to give me a bit more information. Dan Payne, King Charles is hidden in plain sight. Can't miss his sausage fingers, poor bloke. I just think King Charles has had a fabulous life. He's been much maligned. I think him and Diana were as bad as each other. I just think that the crown weighs really heavy on his head. Just give it to the younger guy. Ooh. Ex-cop turned whistleblower. Dame Anna, tell me more. I'll go and do my research. I'm always a fan of doing research. So if you can give me any more information, Dame Anna, email it to joustingarena@gmail.com if you're happy with that, because I don't force anybody to do anything unless they ask me. So there was lots that I wanted to talk about, but what I am going to tell you is this. This was the kind of special announcement I wanted to make tonight. And again, I will say thank you to everyone who's been very kind with their words around my radio career and my radio knowledge. Tower Block Tracy, thank you. Yeah, definitely going to have a look at that. What was I going to say? Yes. So I've been doing a lot of reflecting over 2023, where we are, what's been happening, what's going on, the evil in the world. So I'm going to ask you this every time I do a live. Alex Belfield? Yes, there's more coming. I know people have been like, well, Adrian, what about? Well, yeah, all right. Patience, mon brave. Patience. Yes, there's going to be more Belfield. But I'm not going to give you any more details than that. I said to you at the very beginning, I know so much about him. And as much as his defenders can say, no, he don't. He don't know anything. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. Out of Alex's mouth. Now, would it be unfair of me to crush the boy while he's in prison? That's the question I've been asking myself. And I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. But if I can tell you my own personal stories and, give you a bit of a giggle at the same time, then yes, of course. So there is more Alex Belfield coming. But what I want to do with this channel is manyfold. I want to do more long-form videos. I would love to have had 27 hours in a day when The Crown was launched to tell you my Diana and my Muhammad Al-Fayed stories and working for him and what I know, what I saw with my own eyes. That is never reported in the mainstream media. Never. But I can tell you it because I experienced it. I want to do more interviews, so I'm going to ask you this question. I wonder if Alex is playing the piano on the cruise ship this evening from Cape Webster. He's probably playing the ping oboe. So who would you like me to interview? Is there anybody that you've... I know I talked about Mike's Alligators, about the band The Alligators in the Northeast. Who would you like me to interview? I mean, I've tried talking to a few people, some of the bigger names, and they just look at me and go, he's only a little channel on YouTube. But I have the backing of a digital radio station in the Northeast. I do a weekly radio show. And I don't do it for the money, I do it for the joy. So I don't know whether the BBC would allow me to do interviews, but who would you like me to interview? Steve Allen. Interesting. I think he might be... Tell you what I'll do. I will try my best, and I am just going to open my contacts book. I know everybody in radio, not the kids that are around kind of taking over now, because they're not. John Wedger. Oh, Dame Anna. If I can find them, of course. And do you know something? I was looking at at some of the Madeleine McCann stuff around the refrigerator theory, whether what the dogs found. There is so much to talk about with the Madeleine McCann case. So much. Belfield, well, can't talk to him for 18 months. I'm not sure he's going to want to talk to me when he comes out, because he knows that I know. And he knows that I know loads of stuff. But that's not me holding a sword of Damocles over his head. I said, when I started this channel, I said that I wanted Alex just to get his head down, do his time, get out and disappear. He's made a lot of money. He's made life-changing money. I don't want him to come out and think he can do this again, because it literally would be like chucking raw meat to a river full of piranhas. He may think he's the cleverest man in the room, but he's not, because he's on the top bunk. But I want him to do his time, recognise what he's done, recognise... Oh, I'm not sure he ever will. But Andrew James, the AB Army is still out there. I think you'll find quite a few of them are bots. Hey, Giles, how are you, son? Bot farms. How did you work that out after Century 106? Giles, mate, how did you do that? And then go lecturing on it. Fancy coming on, Giles? Me? Cuddly? Nobody knows what I'm talking about here. You haven't got a clue. Giles does. Don't you, Giles? No, it's not Tarquin. He's more deeply embedded than Tarquin. Anyway, I'm not going to go any further with that. So, yes, if you could just kind of give me a steer. I'll look at this another time, because I'm going to have to go and buy my young lady a small snifter to see the bells in. Thank you for all of your support and your very kind words tonight and every live and every video that I've done in 2023. I really appreciate it. It's hard work, this. It's not easy. But it's like Sean Atwood. Yeah, that would be cool. Sean's very colourful. Very. So thank you for everything. And I said at the beginning of the live, thank you was just kind of bandied about, and it's not really given any weight or any credence nowadays. But for me, it is. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a man of honour, and I'm a man of truth, which is why I can say anything I want to say here. And I know in the beginning, people attacked me thinking they could attack me. But I just said to them, here you go. There's the truth. What's wrong with you? To Towerblock Tracy and Dame Anna and Rusty Mouse and John Honeyford and Nomad Preppers and Theo Bovril and Dan Payne and GB Patriot, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you have a lovely evening. Look, what are we going to do tomorrow? We're going to do exactly the same as we did today. All these new year, new me bollocks. No, forget that, man. People don't know what they're doing. They're just making it up as they go along. Everybody is. There's no game plan. There's no roadmap. Everybody's just making it up. So, join me again for another live, 8 o'clock on Wednesday. And we'll do it all again. And in the meanwhile, all the stuff that I'd prepared for tonight's live, it's always the way. You always just distract me, and then I'm off on a tangent somewhere. And all the work that I've put together for the live just gets thrown out the window. Till in the morning, when I wake up and I start making videos for you. But I did predict what Holly Willoughby was going to do, and how it was going to turn out, and when it was going to turn out. Sure as eggs are eggs, Holly did what I said she was going to do. Dancing on ice, baby! So enjoy your evening however you want to spend it. And next live Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Thank you for your likes. Let's get it over 100. You bunch of wrong-uns. Thank you for your subscriptions. They're always brilliant. And thank you for your indulgence, as always. To Nikki Watson, have a good one, Adrian. And Terry, isn't it steady, Terry? We'll talk privately. Dan Payne and Wiki Videos and everybody that's left their beautiful comments and words. Have a wonderful time. Tomorrow's just another day. And all we have is this moment. That's all we are. We are merely whatever we are perceiving as God experiencing itself as consciousness. You can say that you are love, and you can say that you are this, and you can say that you are that. All you are is this moment in action. Thank you for everything in 2023. I'll see you in 2024 with a cheeky smile and the odd bit of revelation. And I'll see you for the next Wednesday, the next live, this Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Don't forget the Bamberg.